Hello, welcome. It's Domain Dave again, like always. Today we've got another value-priced wine. It's from Aldi. Aldi had a small release of newer wines in November. They sold out. They hadn't had wines that are new for like months before that, and now they're stagnant again. But here's a wine that it's a steady wine. We've done every wine since the 2020 vintage, 2021, 2022. This is the 2023. It's the Aldi Scarlet Path Old Vine Lodi Zinfandel 2023. And it's got a really nice label. It's got a lady with this scarlet veil walking away from you in vineyards. It looks expensive, but it was $6.79. And in the past, it's been as high as $8.99. It's typically $7.99. So this is a wine that a little bit less expensive. It is from a winery, a family-owned winery out of Monterey, who have been making a lot of wines. There was a time like every third wine was made by them, and they haven't been doing that. And as a matter of fact, they've actually had wines from other producers kind of copy their wines. So I don't know if this is a closeout or, typically speaking, Aldi owns the name of the wine, the label, with and then they find a winery. So this might show up at another time by another producer. I don't know. Old vines have no legal definition. It is generally okay that have at least 40-year-old vines. 40-year-old vines. Places like in Napa Valley, the Cabernet Sauvignon vineyards of the big producing that make very expensive wines, they turn those over every 25 years. They want those to be at the peak of production. Zinfandel, not so much. They don't need to make it a peak of production. And while there are old vine vineyards in Lodi that predate Prohibition, in 1975, there was a white Zinfandel craze where it's a sweet white rosé, which isn't a rosé because it was white, from Zinfandel. It was cheap. There's actually some producers out there now that's $30 or $40 doing it all over again. But it was a huge craze, and everybody started planting in the 70s, late 70s, and that now gives you 45, 50, 55-year-old vines just from the white Zinfandel craze. Lodi is in the Central Valley. It's on the northern end of the Central Valley near Sacramento. But the vineyards are planted in the, there's several valleys that stem from the San Pablo Bay. And the cool air can race down there. It gets to the vineyards, and morning fog also gets there. Even though it can get to be 100 degrees in the summertime, that morning fog protects the grapes, keeps the sun away until noon. So even though it can get warm, and you don't see Pinot Noir and those kind of grapes there that need cool temperatures, but even though it can get warm, that fog makes all the difference in the world. And then at night, it goes down into the 50s. So the hot days, the cool nights, and the morning fog are all the key elements of what make Lodi a great place for grapes. Okay, so what's up with this Scarlet Path Old Vine Lodi Zinfandel? It's not bad. It's not complicated. It doesn't have depth, but what it is, it's a jammy fruit forward, but not too fruit forward. Zinfandel with a little bit of spice. What do you want from a under $10 Zinfandel? But that's kind of like you put your order in, that's what you want. I'm going to take another sip here. It's not too much of anything. It doesn't really have a transition. It doesn't have great length. But what's in your glass is enjoyable to sip. It's a nice, inexpensive red wine. You know, it's almost easy to make a cheap white wine because they don't do too much to a lot. Like Sauvignon Blanc, they hardly do anything to it other than ferment it and pick out which yeast you're going to use. Red wine's a little bit tougher, and to get a really nice one, and this is a perfectly good one. This is the kind of wine that if you're getting a Chipotle bowl or you're bringing back tacos, yeah, this is going to be great. I mean, it's going to be the perfect wine. You don't want to spend a $50 wine on comfort food, but if you get something you like and you need just a glass of wine, this will do it. I'm going to take another sip. So the Aldi Scarlet Path Old Vine Lodi Zinfandel 2023. It is nothing complicated, but it is tasty. It does do what it's supposed to do at the price it's supposed to do it at. So there you go. Adios. Keep it cheap. I've got a Portuguese wine coming up, which should be a fun one. And I'll be talking to you in a couple of days. Keep it cheap. Adios. And I'll be seeing you. Well, not seeing you, but talking to you. Bye-bye.